Hi, everybody. It's Vanessa here, Proximal 50. We're going to get started. We are doing Trust Your Gut. It's more than just your waistline. I love this topic, and I hope you guys get a little bit more information about it as well. And please write down your questions, and in the end, hopefully I can answer them for you. So, like I said, I'm Vanessa, dietitian, registered licensed dietitian at Proximal 50. And today we are talking about the gut. And the human gut is one of the most complex ecosystems on the planet. We've only recently begun to understand the complexity of it and to the extent of what the gut flora's role is in our human body and health and in disease. The gut flora promotes normal gastrointestinal function. It provides protection from infection. It regulates our metabolism. And it makes up more than 75% of our immune system, among a lot of other things that our gut flora does for us. Our human gut actually contains 10 times more bacteria than all of the human cells in the entire body. Wow, we're made up of a lot of bacteria. You think about it, we're more bacteria than we are human, with over 400 known diverse bacteria species. So that's just crazy. A dysregulated gut flora has been linked to diseases ranging from autism to depression to autoimmune diseases, conditions like inflammatory bowel disease and type 1 diabetes. So our gut has a lot to do with how our body functions. But today in modern lifestyle, there's a lot of things in our environment or a lot of things that we do that cause dysfunction in our gut flora. And you know, one is antibiotics, other medications like birth controls and anti-inflammatories. There's diets high in refined carbohydrates, and we talked about that in our first one, the difference between complex and simple. So high in simple carbohydrates, sugars, and processed foods cause dysfunction to your gut. Diets low in fermentable fibers and chronic stress is a huge dysfunction or cause dysfunction to our gut, and infections do as well. And so why do antibiotics cause so much trouble to our gut? They particularly are harmful to the gut flora because of the antibodies, the profound and rapid loss of the diversity and the shift in the composition of the gut flora. So basically, you know, the antibiotic kills everything, good or bad bacteria. It kills everything when you take an antibiotic. So, and then once you're done taking the antibiotic, your gut just doesn't go back to normal. You really need to incorporate certain things that I'll talk about here down the road, but it doesn't go back to normal after you're on an antibiotic. It's you have to use some sort of intervention to get it back to normal. We also know that actually infants that aren't breastfed and that are born to mothers with bad gut flora, they're more likely to develop an unhealthy gut bacteria as well. So, and this unhealthy gut bacteria may predict overweight, diabetes, eczema, psoriasis, depression, and other health issues in the future. So that's where we basically get our gut flora, is from our mother, either through breastfeeding or through the birth of the canal. So when you have a cesarean or C-section, or the mother doesn't breastfeed, then that baby loses out on those good gut bacteria that it can gain from the mother. So, you know, when you look at society today, a lot of things have changed, and a lot of things aren't. We're influenced by a lot of other society influences us quite a bit. So, as a employer or as a friend, helping those new mothers and encouraging them to breastfeed would be a great option for their baby. Not only for you know, the health of the baby, but also the health of the mother. It does improve. And so another really great, or not great, another I guess you could say, symptom of bad gut flora is leaky gut syndrome. I don't know if you've heard of that. It is actually when the intestinal barrier becomes passable and large protein molecules escape into the bloodstream. And the body sees these large protein molecules as foreign. So the body attacks itself. Basically, your body is attacking yourself, and it gives an immune response. So what it amounts to is that this immune response shows that it plays a role in development of a lot of autoimmune diseases as well. So if you know of anybody with autoimmune that's just kind of been an onset, like if you think about when you have a sickness and or if you've taken a large amount of antibiotics, when you look back in your health history and something actually like kind of jumpstarts or kickstarts, like diabetes or psoriasis or those types of things, you really need to look back into your health history and kind of be an investigator on what caused it. So given to the extent of which bacteria are now understood and how they influence us, scientists are looking at how the bacteria might affect the brain. I'm just going to check my chat real quick and make sure that everybody can hear me. Okay, good. So now we're looking at how the gut flora and can really affect the brain. A study in Norway, actually, they examined feces of 55 people, and they found that a certain bacteria was more likely associated with depressive patients. So not only is this gut affecting our immune system, it's also affecting our brain, how we think. New evidence indicates that our gut bacteria alters the way we store fat, how we balance levels of glucose in the blood, and how we respond to hormones that we make us feel hungry or full. So this is not only affecting our immune, like I said, and our brain, now it's affecting our metabolism, and it's affecting how we're storing fat. So this is just an amazing, your gut is your second brain. You really have to listen to it. So the wrong mix of microbes, it sounds like, can set the stage for obesity and diabetes from the moment of birth. Researchers have found that gut community, your gut is a community of bacteria, good or bad. In lean people, it's like a rainforest, brimming with many species, so it's really diverse. But in obese people, the community is actually less diverse. So when you think about an obese person and they don't have a lot of diversity in their gut, there's kind of like job vacancies, if you think about it. There's the job vacancies for those microbes that perform key roles such as maintaining healthy body weight and having a normal metabolism. So like everybody's like, okay, so now what we do? If we're overweight or if we have an autoimmune disease, what do we do? Or how do we even know if our gut is healthy? And a lot of people say, well, how often do you poop? That is very important. How often do you poop? You'd like to at least go 1 to 2 to 3 times a day, but also I'd like you to look. I'd like you to see what it looks like. You want it to be like snake smooth and soft. You don't want it choppy or you don't want it runny, because runny means that you're having an absorption issue, and choppy means that you're dehydrated or constipated. So take a look at that, but that's not everything as well. Diet is an important factor when you're shaping your gut system. Diet high in processed foods has been linked to less diverse gut community. So when you're thinking diet, go more plant-based, high in fiber, lots of fruits and vegetables. Exercise is really important, but you don't want to overdo it, cause too much of a inflammatory reaction. So exercise, stress relief, taking deep breaths, meditation. I've talked about this last time too. This is so important as well. Like I said, stress does cause dysfunctional gut. And then also incorporating like turmeric and garlic and rosemary and cinnamon, those really great anti-inflammatory foods that will help with digestion. A probiotic A lot of that's like the new thing is probiotic. Everybody's on a probiotic. And what a probiotic is, you actually produce naturally in your body. It's an army of good bacteria keeping a balance with a natural occurring bad bacteria. So it keeps that healthy balance. And yeast, so bad bacteria and yeast in our digestive system. They may be helpful for those suffering from allergies, irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease, cholesterol, blood pressure, lactose intolerance, constipation, eczema, and so many more symptoms or diseases they could help. So how do you get it naturally? How do you get some prebiotic to help? Prebiotic is like the food for your probiotic to help in your diet. So fermented sauerkraut, fermented pickles, yogurt, and you don't have to go for the one that has the famous person selling it. You look at the list, look at the ingredient label, and pick the one with the most active live cultures in it. Kefir is another, and then kimchi. Kimchi is, you guys probably haven't heard of. It's a fermented Korean side dish, and kombucha. I hope I'm saying that right. It is a fermented tea. So those are great options to get to help with the prebiotic for the probiotic that's already in your stomach. I'm going to have Sarah jump on real quick and tell you a little bit more about the probiotic supplementation, and then I'll finish up here. Sarah, are you on?
Yep.
All right.
Okay. I'm Sarah, and I am a registered nurse at Proximal 50. Vanessa just asked me to talk a little bit about what probiotics are. You go to Walmart or you go to a store and you see a whole aisle full of vitamins, minerals, that type of thing. Like, how do you know what is best for you or what's going to work for you? So really, when you're picking a probiotic, you want to find a probiotic that has a lot of live cultures. Anywhere from 6 is like the least amount to like 12 live culture strains. So the more you have, the better it is, like Vanessa said. And then also just make sure that you have, or make sure that has at least 40 billion column forming units. So the more units it has per capsule, the better it's going to be. There was some research out saying that, the best probiotic needs to be refrigerated. However, when I was looking back, they have actually made a lot of good probiotics that don't need to be refrigerated. However, if you keep it in the fridge, it's going to last longer. Those live cultures will be more beneficial for your gut health. And yeah, again, like Vanessa said, just make sure that it has, lots of good cultures in it, and then the yeast, obviously, because that's what's binding it, that yeast. Trying to think what else. And then, Vanessa said too, some of the things, what probiotics are good for. I mean, it's good for oral health. So, probiotics are great for babies, infants, all the way up until, geriatric patients. Everybody really should be on a probiotic. So if you think about it, our foods, everything that we eat now, it's like it has a pesticide, an herbicide on it. It's, being modified. There's just lots of things in our food that's not natural for our body. So we need that to, absorb all these nutrients. We really need that probiotic to help with that, or a digestive enzyme. Digestive enzyme is different than a probiotic because that the digestive enzymes help chemically break down food so that you're getting the nutrients. I don't know if Vanessa's going to talk more on that, but just a little overview. Trying to think what else. I think that's kind of it. If anybody has any questions for me, you can let me know. Thanks.
Thanks, Sarah, so much. So a probiotic alone will not win the war on obesity and all of our other issues that stem from a dysfunctional our gut flora. So, but it seems like along with exercising, eating right, we will enlist our inner microbial army to fight against all of those things. As an action step to introduce more of a prebiotic into your diet, I'd really like you guys to try out a different type of yogurt that has a great list of active cultures on it. stop and take a look at the grocery store and take some time and check one out. Or try some kombucha. It's the fermented tea, or kefir. Try some, there's some different ways to get that in. But also I'd want you to retry a fruit or vegetable that you haven't eaten in a couple of years and give it a shot. Introducing more fruits and vegetables and adding some more fiber is a great way to help out your gut. Getting rid of those refined carbohydrates and those processed foods, and going more towards those foods that are from the ground, and actually a couple days a week rely on a plant-based protein instead of going for your animal protein. That will really help out as well. So I just wanted to kind of make a little comment about with feces and all that kind of stuff. I kind of think it's funny, but we always seem to laugh at animals when they eat another person or another animal's feces. But you really think about it, if an animal's not feeling very well and they can sniff out an animal who has good gut flora, they will eat that feces, and that will actually reset their gut flora so they do feel better. So those animals aren't as dumb as we thought they were when they're eating that another animal's feces. So, and I've actually read some studies on fecal transplants for humans with those that suffer from celiac disease or irritable bowel syndrome, and having some relief, and having not having the, I guess, the allergic reaction to the gluten or to certain other to those other certain foods that cause the IBS. So there are studies out there now that promote the importance of fecal transplants in those in humans to see actual results and see relief, or the what would you say, Sarah, if you want to hop on and help me out here, to see the complications from those diseases disappear. So it's what, do you have anything to add, Sarah?
No, you did a really good job explaining it. One thing I did forget to mention is, like, where can you, I said Walmart, you go to Walmart and you see a whole aisle of vitamins and stuff. I gave you a couple of those tips, just to make sure that it has, a lot of live cultures, 6 at the least, 12 is like really hitting it good. More than 12 live strains is probably more of a marketing gimmick. Your body can't take all that in. So, 12 is the ideal number. However, like I said, between 6 and 12 live strains for probiotic is excellent. Lots of different places sell it. Terry's Health Foods has a lot of really good choices. And I would say, if you guys have questions on where to get it, you can reach out to us.
Some pharmacies have some really great options too.
Yep. Good. They're really all over. Just, you guys got to do your homework and see what works best for you. And I think that's all I was going to say. The other thing I was going to bring up too is, you said try yogurt. And when you guys are looking at yogurt, also look at the sugar content. If you're getting yogurt with lots of sugar, you're really not doing your body any good, because that's bad. That's actually introducing more bad bacteria. The higher the sugar content, it's not going to have as probably many live cultures. And if it does have live cultures, it's still introducing basically bad strains of the sugars to your gut. So just watch the sugars, or even just buy plain yogurt and add honey. Honey's a great prebiotic. I mean, think, any really thing with fiber and some sugar is a great prebiotic, but just watch the sugar content in yogurts, because there's a lot of hidden sugars when they add, the fake blueberries or strawberries or whatever. So
great. Yes, thanks, Sarah. Yes. Okay. Well, are there any questions for us at this time? No questions? Well, thanks so much all for joining us. Oh, here we go. Oh, it says Bisman Community Food Co-op has lots of kombucha options and even some on tap. Oh, that's awesome. Good to know. Thank you, Rebecca.
Lindsay, you should give a shout out for the Because We Can event coming up on Saturday.
I don't think she's on.
Isn't she on? I think she is. Maybe not.
Nope. I don't know a lot about it. On Saturday, we're having a Because We Can event where you can reserve a treadmill and do a little fundraising for 5 different nonprofit organizations within the community this weekend. And the goal is, there's a lot of people out there that can't run or walk on the treadmill. So with us putting our time in and getting on that treadmill and raising some money for some great organizations, it's a great opportunity to sweat and do it for a good cause. So that's all we have, guys. Thanks so much for joining us, and please don't be afraid. My email is vanessa.lennick@proximal50.com. If you guys have questions that come up later, or if you think I missed something, please shoot me an email, and I'd love to chat with you. And also, Sarah, Lindsay, and I are available for appointments at any time. So if you guys are interested in chatting or talking about how to incorporate that more plant-based diet and more fruits and vegetables into your lifestyle, we are here for you guys. All right, have a great day. Enjoy the weather, and talk to you later.